ideological belief system, it collapses in on itself. I've been talking about this for now probably 70 hours, right? So Nietzsche believes that this is a betrayal, right? Part of the problem of philosophers is that philosophers have betrayed the material and biological states in which they live. And the material and biological states in which we live, there is difference, physiological, material difference. Some people have more money than other people. Baby will have more money than I will ever have in my lifetime. And I'm cool with that. And I don't begrudge him the fact that he wants to, you know, he wants to reach $1 billion. I'm cheering him on. I can't wait till the day he has $1 billion. I'll have a little party in my head for the Birdman, right? He, nor should he begrudge me the fact that I want to create systems. His $1 billion is actually less influential to the world in my construction of systems, I would say. I'm going for where the power really sits, because after I'm all done and gone, my systems hopefully will still be operational. That gas star is fully operational. Excuse me, you have to forgive me, that slip. But the idea is we're all here for our own respective purposes, right? It's not about you. It's not about you, you conforming to some universal purpose, right? It's you figuring out what the hell you're here for. I'm not here to make $1 billion, but I'm also not going to begrudge him the fact that he might want to make $1 billion. He might want to employ me to help him make $1 billion and give me the satisfaction of constructing the system that legitimizes his making $1 billion. We both win, right? I get to construct a beautiful system. He gets to make $1 billion. Everybody's happy, right? So my purpose isn't that, but you get the idea, right? There are certain truths, there are certain physiological, material, biological truths to the world, and it's if there is human nature, which I don't believe in, it is the unknowing, almost, I don't know, unconscious, subconscious. I'm not a shrink, so I don't know what the technical term is, but the ability, I know the philosophical bits, is the ability to attribute value to the differences that we see. I like this color here better than this color here. I like this texture here better than this. Brunettes are better than blondes, or blondes are better than brunettes, or tall is better than, this is who we are as people. Okay, enough. I've sort of belabored the point. The Death Star thing is ridiculous. Number 4, the history of philosophy is a secret raging against the precondition. This is the anti-biological, right? The history. I don't know if I necessarily agree with Nietzsche on this particular point. It's a bit harsh, but I can imagine he's this crotchety, grumpy old man in number 4, right? The history of philosophy is a secret raging against the preconditions of life. There's truth to that. Against the value of feeling of life, against partisanship in favor of life. To say that the entire history of philosophy, I mean, granted, he didn't expect this to be published. I'm sure he would have refined this point in a final publication, because he himself says, as far as the pre-Socratics and the Hellenic sophists, that they sort of got it right. We recognize Parmenides really did, in a sense, get it right. Anaximander really did sort of have an understanding. Anaximenes and so on, right? There was an understanding of man's and woman's, human beings' relationship to the external world in terms of our ability to make both a cosmological and a cosmology and a cosmogony of our existence via our bodies. Right? We didn't look outside and assume that there was some truth that existed beyond man. Beyond our existence, it's really matter in motion, is what it is, right? The universal precepts, the algorithms of sunrise and sunset, and far more complicated algorithms of sort of force relations between planets and mass and size and speed and acceleration, all of those things exist as primary laws of nature. The technical phrase is laws of nature, and this is really where the Pythagoreans and Pythagoras himself sort of had access to that truth. Granted, his account isn't necessarily related in a contemporary sense, but without his account and the pre-Socratic account, it would have been very, very difficult, if not impossible, to arrive at sort of modern-day physics. The idea is that, and what's important, what's really important, is that our connection to the world as individual human beings shouldn't, as Nietzsche says, and I'll give him this, right? It shouldn't be a denial of these preconditions. No one looks at the shark who has razor-sharp teeth, which are jagged on the edges, and they're rows of razor-sharp teeth, and think to themselves, it would be good for the shark to have the desire to pull out its sharp teeth because his sharp teeth kills other fish. Aren't you concerned with the existence of the other fish? No, the shark says, I was designed with these teeth, jagged as can be, rows never ending, for the purpose of controlling my environment. My sharp teeth, the DNA, the biology that pre-programs the existence of these teeth, why would I deny that? Why would I revolt against that? That's what makes me strong. That's why I'm the great white. That's why I'm the ruler of the sea. Why would a human being want to unravel in philosophical terms? Why would you want to renounce? Why would you want to reject sensibility? Why would you want to get rid of your senses, right? Why would you want to think about, even entertain the thought of contemplating a state where you didn't have your senses? Where you lived in this sort of amorphous existence where all is interpreted as, I don't even know what it's interpreted. Why would you want to do that, right? Why would you think, Descartes, why would you think that I'm going to arrive at a sense which is culminated in Descartes, right? And now I'm putting my own personal bit in there, but I have more than enough understanding of Nietzsche to legitimize it. Descartes, why would you strive to arrive at a state of affairs where your arrival of absolute truth is done by the complete rejection of all things sensual? No. Absolute truth, first of all, it doesn't exist, according to Nietzsche. And second of all, if we're arriving at any sense of truth, the only way we can arrive at any sense of truth is by our senses. Right? I need to taste it, I need to touch it, I need to see it, I need to feel it, I need to hear it. That's how I arrive at any sense of truth. Other than that, without these five senses, I don't have access, cognitive access to anything. Then I slip into the void. Right? No sense of taste, no sense of touch, no sense of hearing, no sense of sight, no sense of feeling. What do I have? Nothing. And you're going to deify that, says Nietzsche. You're going to deify that. Once I attain a state where I have completely robbed myself of everything that empowers me as a being, then I arrive at a state of apotheosis, a state of deification. Then not me, he wouldn't say, the religious person wouldn't say apotheosis, they would say a recognition of the Godhead, right? It's not even my own apathy, it's not even my own divination, it's a recognition of, I mean, yeah, Nietzsche's like, no, I'm not buying it. He's not buying it. He's not buying it on any level. And I mean, you got to be fair to the guy. And this is the point. I don't see any discourse from any religious institution to try and offer a rebuttal to Nietzsche. As far as I'm concerned, the ball's in his court. Right? He has control, and no one's vying for control. It's a powerful critique. It's a powerful critique. And it's a very simple question. What's so bad about me as a being? What's so bad about you as a being and the senses that you have and the senses that I have? What's so bad about it? Why is it that when we think about our sensuality, and not in a sexual sense, but that too, why is it that when we think about our sensuality in terms of our five senses, why is it that we always interpret it as leading towards sin or death or sort of, transgression, evil? Why is it that we don't look at our sensuality as the only means of making any sense of this brief bit of time that we have on this planet, of this brief bit of time that we have in existence, more importantly than on this planet? Why not use and monopolize control over our senses? Why don't I spend my life trying to refine that so I'm better at receiving data, processing information? My my purpose in life is to get the word out. so that you can